Hi, I'm Herman from Platinum Racing Products, and we are here at PRI 2019. This is our first PRI show. We decided to trek out here to America because America is now our biggest market. It's huge, bigger than all of our other dealers worldwide. So we had to just come out here and give it a go. So the last 12 months of PRP, where I've been full-time with PRP, I had other commitments with other businesses prior. So I've given all my attention to something which is rare for me. Full-time with PRP, we've got some 6 offshore dealers. Basically quadrupled our stock inventory, but I think we've got over 500 parts on our register for the last year. So we're prototyping sort of 30, 40, 50 parts at a time, but everything that we make seems to be popular. So it's working out really well, really happy. Been really awesome. We've had heaps of people come and take photos, other media channels covering us. It's been good, really happy with it. Okay, so our big new product that has just come out of development is available on the market now is this 36-2 trigger kit. We finished testing that at World Time Attack with amazing results. Obviously, we had a first and a second with that trigger kit on the fastest RBs in the world. So really happy with the results with that, and we're quite sure it's the best trigger kit on the market. We basically needed more resolution with the top-end Time Attack cars, and that's where all the grueling stuff gets tested. So 36-2 was the target tooth count that Motec wanted us to develop, but we just couldn't fit that type of disc behind a balancer, and we don't like putting teeth on balancers because balancers move so much. We've proven it in the past. You get timing scattered and it's just not good enough. So we developed this basic 4-inch disc, swept the angle back of the sensor to get it all to fit, and it worked really well. I mean, we had to develop a few different cuts of it, but after we got the profile right, we had some really good results. And World Time Attack, for example, you'd always end up with 150 trigger errors, which is sort of normal. And after that, we ended up with 0. And it's since been tested on a couple of other cars. It's done a Targa, it's done a few hill climb events, and 0 errors across the board. So we were happy to release it not very long ago. So we always knew that the IGN-1A was the best coil on the market. It was just always ugly, and it doesn't suit 90% of the population. But for that top 10% elitist, we've now developed a coil on plug kit. It's the best we can get it to look. It comes out on an angle, it looks agricultural, it looks mean, and yeah, we're getting ready to release that within the next couple of weeks as well. So we've just released this double head drain. It's brand new on the market. I've always run a head drain out of the water gallery on the back of a RB engine. I've always welded a bung in there and made my own sort of system. So I figured most engines could probably benefit from that, and why doesn't anyone do it? Well, I worked out why no one does it. It was a pain. The geometry of those 2 holes and casting differences, it took me months and months to get this right. So this was like the 15th revision. Hadn't released it at the time, but then I had basically come up with a double head drain for the oil and the water gallery down the bottom. And to get it all to fit so closely to the firewall, you can't actually get a hex on the back there. It doesn't work. Other manufacturers have done similar things or stranger things to get it all to work, but that wasn't good enough for us. So we developed this inner hex Allen key on a long fitting there, which gets you past the perimeter of the oil drain itself, and then you can get a hex fitting on it, and it all sort of works. You can tighten that up, but because you don't have to drill any holes or anything like that, you can just thread one hole and utilize an existing M6 hole. It just sort of works. So I think this is going to be a really good seller, and they're already sort of fairly popular. I've never really been happy with our stalk solution, so I thought the only way to better it is a really expensive silicon mold and start making plastic injection molded or silicon molded stalks. So we're just about to release a bunch of silicon stalks, and we've revolutionized our whole coil inventory. So we've got the Barra, which is about ready to release. We're doing a silicon stalk for the IGN-1A kit. We've got the new RB. This is the Revision 8 RB stalk. There's no, the coils just come assembled. There's no stuffing around with bits and pieces. There's no catching of rubbers. There's no cutting of springs because we're now supplying the right length spring. We wanted the best coil kit on the market. We didn't want to modify the price, so now we feel we've done that. There's a heap of new coil kits that we are about to release. We've got the Evo 10, we have the K Series Honda, the B Series Honda, the new RB kit. Obviously it sits down further into the spark plug well an extra 12 millimeters, so there's no clearance issues whatsoever, doesn't matter where you put that loom. We have a BMW N54 coil kit now, which is really cool because alongside the Barra, they run a dumb coil is what we call it in the industry. So the ECU fires the igniters from within the unit, and you can't run an external igniter or a smart coil because you end up blowing both. So we've just come up with some really cool new hardware to allow you to bypass one of the igniters to run a smart coil, and it fixes all those problems in both those cars. We're also releasing the new silicon stalk on all our SRs, Evos, and everything else. So we're really happy about it. So the next new product is our SR20 integrated main cap girdle. We thought it was a bit silly people buying billet mains and trying to brace it with separate components that aren't joined together when you can do it all in one. Now this is a 7075 aircraft grade billet alloy, which is not that hard to work with, but it's really expensive billet. It tends to just tick all the boxes. So with a cool new design, we've managed to tie it all in together. We've eliminated any block flex. There's no main cap walking, there's no movement, and you have a really good atmosphere for shock to move throughout the brace, out of the bottom end and up through the pan rails and dissipate all that energy, heat and noise. The problem with SR main caps is they tend to crack at 450 kilowatts on, depending on the type of abuse. So this platform will get you up from the 450 kilowatts up until who knows, but it's the biggest platform for massive modification on an SR, and I think it's going to be the go-to solution for that SR platform.